Hello and welcome to hopefully another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals. So the holidays are upon us, and this year I'm not doing traditional American holiday food. I want to do a couple of little things different. So I said I want to try my hand at tamales. Now you can go to the store, especially here in Southern California, and they often have the already prepared masa mix. But I'm like, you know what? I want to try and do it myself because one of my issues with tamales is the corn dough doesn't always be as flavorful as I want it. So I want to try something a little bit different. So what we have here, we took some maseca, basically corn flour, and we got about 3 cups or about 4 cups of that. We've already blended in some baking powder, a little bit of cumin, and salt. To that, we're going to incorporate that into this lard that we're going to get it ready to start beating up real quick. Matter of fact, might as well go ahead and start that now. Trying to get this bowl locked in right. We're going to start beating up this this lard. Let's just get it looking to there and get that real creamy. Then we're going to slowly incorporate the broth to it. Get that all coming to the test that I've heard is basically when this dough floats in water, it's ready. If not, you need to add more lard. So let's get to it. As I said already, right now we have our lard in here and we are beating it together. Once that gets a nice creamy consistency, then we're going to start incorporating in our corn flour. They call it masteca, but I'm a butcher Latin, so it's corn flour. As always, folks, please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that notification bell, follow us and like us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, tap into us on TikTok, and please always visit the website, createsimplemeals.com. For any of your questions, you can always email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. And on the web page, on the contact page, there is a messenger link that you can always send us a message. And if we're not otherwise engaged, we will respond to you fairly quickly. Okay, so again, we're doing the tamales today. We're starting to get this. We can't see too good. Let me see, can I let y'all see how that's starting to look in there? So you see it's getting real creamy. That lard, you don't have to use lard. You can use regular old vegetable oil. Lard is going to give it a more authentic flavor. It's going to give it a creamier texture. It's not the healthiest thing in the world, but that's what it calls for. On the bag of corn flour, oftentimes it's going to have the recipe on there. And I can tell you right now, I'm deviating slightly on that. I will put my deviations on the website. All right, so make sure this is getting mixed all way down up in there. All right, so that's about as creamy as I think we actually have to have it. So now we're going to start going in and just slowly incorporate in this corn flour. You don't want to just dump it in there. You want to let it thoroughly mix in there. So into the corn flour, as I said before, I have some cumin. I have a little bit of salt, a little bit of baking powder. Go ahead and push this down a little bit. But you see it's coming together like a dry gritty batter. Get all this down in there. And then we're going to start adding in some moisture. All right, to give you a look in there, so you see that's kind of that crumbly texture. Now we're going to start adding in our broth until it starts to come together. So you want to add it in a little bit at a time. You can also use regular water, but the broth is going to just give it that much more of a more savory flavor to it. I know some of y'all done had tamales somewhere and it's just like bland. We trying to not have ours bland. Now you want to get this about the consistency of a thick peanut butter, because you're going to spread it into those corn husks. Also, I guess I should mention this earlier, the corn husks, you need to soak them in some warm water. So mine has already been soaking off. Let them soak about an hour or so. Just pour some hot water on them. You got to weigh them down because they're going to start floating. Just put them in there, let them get pliable so you can make your tamales. And then as far as your filling, today we're actually going to put in the barbacoa beef. It's on the website. You can search to the website and you will find that recipe. But you can put into a tamale almost anything you want. I've seen cheese, seafood, poultry, vegetables, you name it. But today we're using the barbacoa beef recipe that is on crazysimplemeals.com. And we're going to use that to fill our tamales with. All right, let's see. Do we need to add some more lard, or is this? Well, it's fluffy, I can tell you that. But let's see, is it going to actually stick? Yep, and there we have it, folks. It is floating. So it's gonna, I guess can't really get the better shot, but as you see, you drop it in and you want it to float. If it doesn't float, that means you don't have enough lard in it. So we're going to start cleaning, let this cool for about 10-15 minutes or so, and then we're going to come right on back and we're going to start preparing the tamales. See you real soon, folks. All right, folks, and we're back. So we have our corn husks, as I mentioned before. We've already soaked them in water, and then we tore some strips off of some of them. Now, some of them may already come with some strips in it, but you're going to use this to tie it, to tie your tamales together. There's two sides of the tamale husk, of the corn husk. One is more smooth. That's the side you want to fill in. It should be kind of easy to figure out because it's going to be the one that's concaved in. So the hollowed part or the part that's folding up, that's where you want to put it in. Grab you a little bit of the tamale dough, and you just want to just rub that down. Let me see, can I? So take some of this tamale dough and just start from the top and just rub it down. Then you get you a little bit of your meat or whatever filling you're using. Now, you don't want to put too much meat or filling into your tamale. As you know, tamales don't have a whole bunch in it. So you want to just put maybe 2 ounces or so, or just kind of eyeball it. Then from there, you're simply going to just flip it over twice. Take this back in. You're going to fold that up. Take one of your corn tusk ties and just tie you a little bitty knot. Once you're done with that, after you've done all the tamales you're going to do, you're going to steam these for about 35, 45 minutes. You'll know they're done when the masa doesn't stick to the corn husk. When you open up the tamale, it should be a clean opening and pull away from that husk. So let's do one more, and then we're going to get to the steaming part after we wrap all of these. Now, the other good thing about tamales is you can make these in advance. Obviously, I'm going to eat some tonight, but you can make them in advance and then freeze them. Once you freeze them to eat them later on, you just take them out, steam them for about 10, 15 minutes, and there you have it. So you can actually make these, few days or even a few weeks in advance of the holidays, or make a bunch for Thanksgiving and have some left over for New Year's and or Christmas if you want to do some more then. All right, folks, we're going to go ahead and finish wrapping these up, and then we'll come back and show you the steaming process. Be right back, folks. All right, folks, so we've wrapped up all our tamales. We now have them sitting in a steamer basket. So it's a pot of water with a steamer insert, and you want to put them vertical in here. We're going to cover these with a dish towel. You can also use corn husks. We're going to cover these, and we're going to let these steam for about roughly an hour or so. We'll probably check them at the 45-minute mark. And then once we're done steaming them, we're going to come back and show you all the final results. Remember, folks, while you're sitting there watching and waiting, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell on YouTube. Like and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. Tap into us on TikTok. Please visit the website, createsimplemeals.com, quite often. And if you have any questions whatsoever, you can email me at askme@createsimplemeals.com. If you go to the contact page, there is a messenger feature there. So if we're not otherwise engaged, if you send us a message, we'll try to get back to you fairly quickly. Until then, folks, keep watching, keep waiting, and we'll be back in about an hour and show you the final product. All right, folks, we are back. It has been an hour. We have steamed off our tamales. So can I see if you can get a better shot inside the pot? But yeah, that's our bundle of joy right there. We've already steamed off. So I said we let it steam for about an hour and 10 minutes or so. You see they're still cooling down, but I took one out early so we can try and test it on the show here. Can I get you a nice zoom in there? So I'll be the first to admit it ain't the prettiest looking tamale, but let's see if it's a tasty tamale. Huh. I actually surprised myself, folks. As I told you, I was playing around with the recipe earlier, and I tweaked it a little bit. So what I did, I like. Matter of fact, I love. Um, just to recap what we did today, we took made our tamale masa, or the dough, from scratch. We took about 4 cups of the masteca, or the corn flour. We took about a cup and a half of lard. First thing we did, we beat that lard till it got real creamy. Added into that the mixture of the corn flour, along with 2 teaspoons of cumin was in there, about a tablespoon of salt, and about a teaspoon and a half of baking powder. And we slowly incorporate that into about the cup and a half or so of the lard. Now, after that, we start pouring in a little bit of beef broth, which is really coming through in the taste of this corn. That mixed in lard along with that baking powder. When I was playing around with, because I added an extra half a teaspoon in there, it gives it a real light fluffiness. As far as the filling, if you go to createsimplemeals.com, we use the beef barbacoa recipe that we did a few months ago, and we use that for our filling. Real simple, and I promise you folks, this was absolutely positively my first time doing this, but sticking to my motto, as I always say, when it comes to cooking, you must have passion, you must have patience, and you must be willing to practice. Out of my comfort zone, but I am quite pleased. As always, folks, please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that notification bell, like and follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, tap into us on TikTok. Please visit createsimplemeals.com early and often. All our recipes are on there, all the videos are on there. You can also email us at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Also, on the website, on the contact page, is a messenger feature. So you can message me, and if I'm not otherwise engaged, I will respond back to you as soon as possible. This recipe will be on there, and it is very good. Again, folks, as always, excuse me, I'm hungry. There is absolutely positively only 3 rules we have when it comes to cooking. You must have patience. You must have practice. You must have patience, you must have passion, you must be willing to practice. Until next time, folks, go to that website, tap into us, follow us, like us. We will see you again soon next week with another simple meal.